All right, it is Sunday, March 10th, and we're in another episode of Sunday Sima. And today is the fifth verse out of chapter 2, Righteousness of the Emperor. In ancient times, they did not chase those who fled very far, or follow those who were treated very closely. If they did not pursue the enemy very far, it was difficult for the enemy to lure them. If they did not stay close to the enemy, it was difficult for the enemy to trap them. They used the rights to become robust. They used their benevolence to become victorious. After victory, their teachings could be reproduced. This shows why they are valued by the noblemen. Right? So, those who are victorious are the ones who write history. And there's a reason that there's always such a clinging to tradition, because those who would rewrite history are not valuing the tradition of what it is. Because sometimes stories are supposed to be retold as factual. So let's go over to the Daily Stoic, March 10th, by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Find yourself a Cato. We can remove most sins if we have a witness standing by as we are about to go wrong. The soul should have someone it can respect, by whose example it can make its inner sanctum more inviolable. Happy is the person who can improve others, not only when present, but even when in their thoughts. Seneca, Moral Letters 11.9. And so I think that just goes to reinforce the verse that we just read from Sima, in the sense of what are we holding ourselves to? Benevolence, right? The Sima is talking about they win by benevolence. You and your soul win by benevolence, because as he's saying, if there's a witness standing by, most sin can be removed. What he really means is, and what he's trying to say is, if you could have someone in your thoughts at all time, well, ultimately it has to be you, because only you can be with your thoughts at all times. And so through that benevolence, through that active management, can victory be achieved. Cato the Younger, a Roman politician best known for his self-discipline and for his heroic defense of the Republicans against Julius Caesar, appears constantly throughout Stoic literature, which is interesting because he didn't write anything down. He taught no classes, he gave no interviews. His bold and brave example is what made him such a commonly cited and quoted philosopher. Seneca tells us that we should each have our own Cato, a great noble person we can allow into our minds and use to guide our actions, even when they're not physically present. The economist Adam Smith, that's so crazy. I was thinking about Wealth of Nations. The only way for true wealth of a nation is to own the means of production. Okay. The economist Adam Smith had a similar concept, which he called the indifferent spectator. It doesn't have to be an actual person, just someone who, like Seneca said, can stand to witness our behavior. Someone who can quietly admonish us if we are considering doing something lazy, dishonest, or selfish. This is the person that beats you up at night for the things when he wasn't around and you did something dishonest, selfish, or lazy, and you admonish yourself at night. You need a strong inner voice. And if we do it right and live our lives in such a way, perhaps we can serve as someone else's Cato or indifferent spectator when they need it. Right? So, in order to be the example, you have to be the example for yourself first. You have to be your own inner spectator. You have to be your own example and lead the way for yourself before others can look to you as a leader.